Welcome to the Missionary Hut, a program that looks at the latest sustainable development ideas. I'm Ruji Yasmin and I'm taking time off from reporting to volunteer in Africa with the NGO Hands on Help for the Poor, and I'm based out here in the Missionary Hut. In this episode, we will be looking at the latest in DIY help to educate poor children and empower girls. The school in a very small box will help those in the poorest part of the world to get out of poverty without disturbing their culture. It's a great substitute for expensive and unsustainable infrastructure, university school buildings and computer terminals which just don't fit in out here. I know you love this, it's so cool. Back in the UK, a sustainable living advice group are going to show us how we can all make one to pop in a suitcase when we go on holiday to the fabulous sunshine in poor places.
Hello and welcome to Sustainable Living Made Easy with me, your host, the Sustainable Living Advice Guru, otherwise known as the Slag. Now today we're going to make a whole school in a small box and provide a giant leap in education provision, and it's inspired by UNICEF and is especially good for some of the poorest and most remote parts of the world. You can even pop this school into your rucksack when you're off on a safari or when you're popping over to India to find yourself. With one of these, you can empower people at next to no cost. How good is that? Now, to make your school, all you need is a piece of cardboard, some pencils, you need some chalk, I've got a whole box full here. You also need some crayons, I've got some lovely orange stickers here, and just a few bits and bobs from your pencil case that you no longer need. I've got some Pritt stick, a biro, an HB Staedtler pencil. I've got some lovely multicoloured drawing pins and elastic bands to go with that. I've also got a wad of protractors because these are actually very, very useful in daily life. We need them all the time, we just don't know it. And I've got some tacking pins. What you also need to make your school is some sellotape and some scissors. And as I always say with these things, please don't forget your health and safety. You don't want to stab yourself in your eye with your own scissors, do you? So I recommend some of these, some protective glasses. And just in case you bang your head, you should always have a helmet. Now, to make your school, what you'll need to do, and I've already done this, but normally what you would need to do is to cut the cardboard at the corners so we can fold it into a small box shape, and then we'll tape it up. Now, once you have your box, just pop your items into there. So I've got my crayons, which I'll put there. I've got my big box of chalk, which I'll put to one side. My lovely stickers, which I'll pop there. Drawing pins, elastic bands, Pritt stick, tacking pins, and my wad of protractors can go there. And just a few educational bits and bobs. Just think how this school in a box will empower young girls in those dreadfully macho poor places. What's more, with one of these, you can put an end to child labour forever. Once you've got your box, what I'm actually going to do is get a slightly bigger box and put my school in a box in there to keep it safe and protected. Like that. Close my box. You can even give these as a birthday present for your own children and help them to learn that it's not just about the iPods and the computer games, the television and colleges, that really all they need is a few bits and bobs from generations past. That will do the job. And of course, in the poorest parts of the world, they don't even need books because they have the oral tradition. And we wouldn't want to impose Western culture on them, would we? Because as we know, it's always a disaster. Now, once you have your box, I would put a nice little note on it, and I have mine here, and it says, just for you to teach yourself and not make nasty mistakes and build universities as we have here in the West. Love you, the Slag. I'm going to stick my note on here. There we go. Now you can pop your school in a box into any item of luggage when you're off on your world tour and give it to that poor child. It will make you feel So good, and it will make your holiday. I'm afraid that's all we have time for this time. Till next time, happy learning.